Good morning, YouTube. This is Captain Infidel today, and today I want to talk about something which really worries me a great deal. It actually worries me a lot. And I'll get to my main point soon, but first I'm going to make a small little observation. So I'm going to tell you what I see around YouTube. First of all, I see a lot of really very intelligent people, and a lot of really very unintelligent people speaking freely about whatever they desire, and shit, that's the point of YouTube. I mean, that's not what disgusts me. I mean, I'm a freedom-loving guy, and I value autonomy and freedom above everything else. Literally, like, they're my ultimate values. Like, they're the values I try to live my life by. That's not what bugs me. What bugs me is that the very intelligent free thinkers and secularists, atheists, agnostics, humanists, etc., that I see around YouTube are often involved in some bullshit, petty debate or shitfest with some dumbass Christian who takes offense to one of their videos. And, you know, everyone does what they want to do on YouTube, and maybe a lot of people here on YouTube just enjoy drama and petty shit, you know. Maybe people on YouTube just enjoy a good old-fashioned ass-whooping of ideas, and you know, maybe a lot of people on YouTube just need a fight. You know, that's fine. But what concerns me about this petty squabbling and this war between free thinkers and Christians is that I feel like free thinkers and secularists are choosing the obvious and easy target to attack. Furthermore, I feel that Christianity, despite its ease and access and its openness to attack, because it's the religion that we know most about, I really think that it's the lesser of two evils that secularists should be focused on. I feel that we are weakening our position in the world when we just beat up on Christianity, and because we stop paying attention to the greatest evil of my generation, and that is fundamentalist Islam. Fundamentalist Islam to my generation is like communist Russia was to our parents, and it was the same way that Nazi Germany was to our grandparents. I mean, fundamentalist Islamic states, are countries that have Sharia law as the norm and is enforced by the government, literally enforced by the government. There are morality police. And they are states that actively recruit and train terrorists, and they are states that conflict on every level possible with Western society. And Islam conflicts with democracy and freedom of all kinds and peace. Period. And I know there are those of you out there that claim, you know, Islam is a religion of peace, blah, blah, blah. I know some really nice Muslims who love this country, blah, blah, blah. There are good Muslims out there, and I'm offended that you criticize Islam. Blah, motherfucking blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know, okay, I get it. I do. Muslims can be good people. They can be. I agree. What scares me is not the Muslim people. It's their fucked up religion that is inherently violent. And no one can argue with me on this point. At all. There is a statistical link between Islam and terrorism. A statistical proven link. There just is. I mean, when you have 26% of the Muslim population in the Middle East say that car bombings and suicide bombings are okay, that's scary as fuck. Okay? And this link, this statistical link, is just a fact in every definition of the word. Okay? Fundamentalist Islam is nothing more than modern fascism. Make no mistake. It's just modern fascism, which is supported from a mythical ultimate authority. It is the return of a much more corrosive and powerful Hitler. And it's much worse. I mean, think of it this way. Hitler couldn't hide from the Western world because he was a part of it. We understood fascism back in the days of World War II, and we understood it was evil. We understood that it needed to be fought with every cell and every thought in our body. We knew this. But fundamentalist Islam is more dangerous than Hitler because fundamentalists hide amongst good people. That's what makes them so hard to root out. I mean, they are more like the IRA than Hitler, except the IRA is weak, and fundamentalist Islam is worldwide and very powerful. Fundamentalist Islam is just as radical. In fact, it's a lot more radical than fundamentalist Christianity, which a lot of us see in America, and we have a problem with. I mean, they are much worse than these deluded creationists, because, I mean, fundamentalist Islam is fucking violent. You're not going to have Kent Hovind breaking down your door and trying to bomb your ass. Besides, any Christian in America that commits a crime is subject to the rule of law. You know, Ayah Hirsi Ali said it best when she talked about how radical Christians can be caught and prosecuted, but radical Islamists can't in their countries, because their country is ruled by people just like them. So they're not subject to the rule of law. So I feel like freethinkers feel like the water's murky on this issue. You know, we can't condemn Islam because we don't want to offend people, or we want to be peaceful and loving, and right, maybe we should be peaceful and loving to Muslims, and you know, I agree to a certain extent. You know, we should be kind, and we should show them how great freedom is, and we should accept them into our country. You know, after all, there are great, loving, kind, peaceful Muslims out there. I know a few myself. I go to school, and there are good Muslims around here. But I think secularists are making this issue more gray and more murky on purpose in order to distract ourselves from the reality that is violent, fascist Islam. And we just don't want to deal with the truth. I don't know why. Maybe we're cowards. Maybe we just refuse to. Maybe it's just denial. I don't know. Maybe we. But I think we really do know how destructive and dangerous fundamentalist Islam is. Ultimately, I feel like we know it in our hearts. And we feel the need that overrides our fear to bend over backwards and show how multicultural and accepting we are. And after all, secularists know what it feels like to be discriminated against. You know, in a country that is overwhelmingly Christian, we know what it means to be different, for the most part. If we've come out of the closet, we certainly know what it means to be different. And this approach is really bad to defending Muslims, or not Muslims, but fundamentalist Islam, because it's like defending a serial killer just because he's different too. It doesn't work. You can't do that. I honestly fucking pray to this flying spaghetti monster that we aren't being multiculturalist to the point of putting our values, our ideals, and our lives in danger. I really hope we don't turn out like our European friends, because Europe is already helplessly under the control of radical Islam. They're losing freedoms every day because of that false religion, and they don't have the awareness to realize it or the spine to do anything about it. And I hope that we can put aside, ultimately, I hope that we can put aside our differences with Christians. Just for a time. If nothing else, just for a time, and focus on the real problem in our midst. Because if we don't get this problem of fundamentalist Islam taken care of now, it is going to plague us for hundreds of years to come. It will. It'll entrench itself in Europe, it'll entrench itself in America, and we're not going to be able to get rid of it. That's why I'm asking the secularists on YouTube to stop bickering with Christians all the time. I mean, yeah, if some big dumbass gets on your site and starts making threats or insults or whatever, something that you feel actually deserves a response, then respond. But nothing ever really gets accomplished except escalating the bad blood between us being secularists and Christians. I mean, Christians will never, ever, ever be able to accept that we're not Christians. They're never going to be able to accept our criticisms of their faith, and, you know, we'll never be able to accept the validity of their religion because it's not valid. But at least we can recognize that although they may want to kill us, they won't kill us because of our beliefs and our lack of belief in God. They won't. Yet in Islamic states, being an infidel is punishable by death. So, you make the comparison, you two. You decide what needs to be done. I'm just trying to focus us on the real issue, the real problem, and I hope that we can stop bickering with these Christians all the time. Yeah, it's important to show that evolution is the correct theory. Yeah, it's important to debunk myths about creation and Noah's Ark and all these things. Yes, these debates are important. But when they just turn into muddled shitfests that aren't accomplishing anything, all they're doing is creating bad blood between Christians and secularists, and I think that Christians are our strongest allies against Islam, and we need to unite against Islam, because Islam is dangerous. Fundamentalist Islam is the most dangerous thing in this world. So, let's focus on the real issue before it consumes us. Please, this is my plea to all secularists. Please, let's focus on the issue. Peace.